The Order's Archmage is the first of 3, maybe 4 builds in the Golden Order Incantations series. This PvP build is here to solve all your problems. Are you fed up with Moonveil spammers? No problem. Spamming mages with Bloodhound Step? No problem. Bleed builds? No problem. Random skill spammers? Again, no problem. Allow me to present you the build, starting with the stats. 45 Vigor will give us a great amount of HP. 20 Mind will offer us enough FP to spam our spells, most being cheap anyway. 28 Endurance is the minimum needed to mid-roll because we use heavy weapons and armor. 30 Strength is the minimum needed to use the Earthly Great Shield. 31 Intelligence and 35 Fate will give our spells and weapons decent damage. We need no point in Dexterity and Arcane for this build. For casting, we will use the Golden Order Seal because it buffs the damage of the Golden Order incantations by 10%. Having A scaling in both Intelligence and Fate means we get to 308 incantation scaling when buffed by the flask. When the opponents close the distance and do not allow us to cast, we will use the Clayman's Harpoon. With the Sacred Infusion, we get 3 different damage types on this weapon and a B scaling in Fate and D in Intelligence. Its skill, Sacred Blade, launches a projectile at the opponents while buffing our weapon with holy damage for 20 seconds. The damage is good and we even get some poise while using it. The maximum AR we get when buffed by the Flask, Exalted Flesh and the weapon's skill is 945. The Earthly Great Shield is the most important piece in this build because of its Golden Retaliation skill. It allows us to parry any magic projectile heading our way, including spells we cast, and it sends back a holy projectile that has potential to one-shot players in PvP. It also gives this build versatility because when we cannot cast, we can use it to block and poke from behind against melee opponents. I picked the Radiant Gold Mask because it also boosts the Golden Order incantations by 10%. The rest of the set is completed by the Clean Rot pieces with the Altered Armor. The Faithful Canvas and Phlox Canvas Talismans will boost the power of our incantations by a combined total of 12%. Sacred Scorpion Charm will raise our holy damage by 8% while receiving 15% more physical damage. Lastly, the Shard of Alexander will boost the power of the Golden Retaliation skill and the Sacred Blade skill by 15%. Discus of Light is the main spell for this build due to being very cheap. It doesn't deal a lot of damage, but it's very easy to parry with the Earthly Great Shield. I usually cast it twice then retaliate twice when they return, which sometimes catches opponents off guard. Triple Rings of Light is more expensive and deals more damage than Discus of Light, but it's trickier to reflect because many times the rings do not return back at the same time. I usually use it after Discus of Light because they look more dangerous, which can make opponents retreat. Radagon's Ring of Light deals the most damage, but it's slow to cast, making it pretty challenging to land. But I like to use it after Discus of Light and Triple Rings of Light if the opponents roll towards me. Law of Causality will trigger an explosion after receiving around 5 hits. It won't always happen, but when it does, it can save your skin. In the Flask of Wondrous Physique, we are using the Fate Knot tier for 10 bonus points into Fate. The other tier is the Holy tier for 15% bonus holy damage. Both tiers will improve the damage of our spells and weapons for 3 minutes. And Boiled Crab, which reduces the incoming physical damage by 20% for a minute. Going to 45 Intelligence and Fate will get you to the Golden Order's Seal Hard Cap, and also raise the damage of your spells and weapons. On top of that, you get access to the Law of Regression spell, which you can use to cancel enemy buffs, making their builds less dangerous, especially the Seppuku users. Using a Golden Vow will help you deal 7.5% more damage and receive 5% less damage. Another thing that can massively improve the build is adding a few more points into Endurance in order to wear heavier armor. So you can get to 51 or 56 poise in order to withstand a light attack, making it easier to trade when casting. This build is very strong in PvE as well, and it's capable of dealing a lot of damage. But not against Malikat, Radagon, and Elden Beast, which have 80% holy damage resistance. Hope you like the build and you're gonna give it a try. Now I will show you 5 duels with this build, but first please like the video and subscribe if you want to get notified when I post the second part, the Oathkeeper, and the third part, the Golden Sentinel. Enjoy!